mess right here is what keeps me coming back.
All right, what's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the Serious Angler Podcast. Kind of low key today, little Thanksgiving, little shindig we're putting together here. We're joined by Adam Bartusek and Mr. Rich Lindgren, hot off his performance down in Alabama. What's going on, fellas?
Not a lot. Rich is the one to talk to. He's caught fish recently. I haven't.
It feels like it forever ago already. To be honest, That was 10 days ago.
What was the weather like down there for you? I know your video today, it looked kind of rainy-ish for day one.
Yeah, it was actually really good weather. I don't think we had winds over 10 miles an hour all week. Highs were in the upper 60s to low 80s all week. The lows maybe were in the upper 40s to 50s. It was like Chamber of Commerce weather the week we were there on Pickwick.
Nice.
A little bit of rain here and there, but nothing too bad.
Nice. Yeah, when I left for Tennessee, I expected to come down to like mid-50 water temps, and I put in the first creek I went to, and I saw 46-degree water, and I was like, okay, well, nothing has changed since I left New York. So it was cold. It was snowing the first day I was down there. But
I don't remember the last time I saw 46-degree water. Because we're still the last few times I was out.
Yeah,
fish. Oh, go ahead.
I went out. I don't remember when that was. When I caught that 6-pounder, that was like a month ago, and the water temps might have been 46 then. They were coming down hard at that point.
I remember when you caught that one, and I was out then, and then you remember when we got that random heat flash a few weeks ago? It was 70, 80 degrees here for a week. And the water, lakes had been skimming over at the end of October, beginning in November. And all of a sudden it was 70s. And I was like, oh my God, I just finished editing. I'm going to go fish for 4 or 5 days straight. Water's going to get back up to 50s. It's going to be gangbuster. I was out the last day it was warm, and it hit 43. It just didn't warm up. So the lakes want to freeze. It sucks. Yeah. And the bugs suck. I got skunked 3 days in a row.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're getting there. I fished a tournament early Saturday. I actually left early. No, it's Sunday. Sunday I fished. We actually left early because it went from snowing to downpour of rain. I was like, I'm not getting sick. So we left, and we had 2 fish, but I think the water temp finally got into the 40s.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been cold here, man. Yeah. It's rough.
I saw 40-degree temps on Oneida 3 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, a week prior to me leaving for Tennessee. So
Oneida gets
47.
Oneida gets a little colder than the Finger Lakes region.
Oh, it's
quicker because it's shallower, and it's right on the edge of the Adirondacks. So it tends to get cooler up there.
That is fair. That's crazy that you just saw it hit 49. I'm headed out later this week at some point, but tomorrow
was 48, 49 degrees on Sunday.
It's not bad.
Lake Erie's still 50.
Good grief. It'll be hopefully it'll be another year you can get out after them on New Year's.
Yeah, last year we could. Well, this year
on January 1st.
I went December 28th, and we got 80 fish in 4 hours.
We will have a foot of ice on New Year's, at least.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's the crazy part. All of our Finger Lakes were kind of skimming over, but Erie was still 38 degrees.
Yeah, I mean,
it takes a while for it to get cold.
You can't go fish anywhere. It's not like you're going to go catch them.
Right. Do you think that's ever going to get changed for you guys, where you can fish out of the seasons?
Well, I mean, the season doesn't close until the end of February. So you could still go fish them, but there's nowhere open other than the good old Mississippi River, which is, shoulder to shoulder right now with people wading, chucking suckers.
I almost took my boat out there today, but couldn't find anybody that wanted to go with.
Yeah, that's the only place you can go. But yeah, then it closes the end of February and won't open up till second weekend of May. I don't know if it'll change. I don't think it will, but since Wisconsin did, there's a glimmer of hope. But I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, we used to have another sneaky spot about 3 hours north, but then I think that power plant shut down.
Yeah, the good old plant. Dude, yeah, that place had like the biggest bass in the state in it.
Sheesh.
You go swim baits in like January and February and catch like 5 to 6 pounders.
I'd heard of people catching a couple on frogs in February, January, because the water stayed like 70 degrees.
What?
Insane.
Yeah, it's a bizarro world.
Yeah, I've seen him hit top waters there.
Yeah, I never fished it, so I never got to experience it. I just heard the stories.
I have some old footage of that. Like it's not good footage, but I have some old footage on my channel of some of that.
I think Zona did a show on Newton Lake in Illinois on like one of those nuclear reactor lakes in February. Was catching them on top water. It was like 21 degrees out, but the water was like 65.
There's some guys who drive from here down to there when everything's frozen and they want to go get a fix. They'll drive down there for a day. It gets pounded. But
I'm sure.
I know Cade used to go down there a little bit.
And I think there's one in Wisconsin somewhere. And then I think there's one in North Dakota.
There is one in North Dakota, but I've never gone to it. I don't even think I know where it is. I've just heard there is one there.
I heard there's a sneaky one in Montana that's really good for smallmouth.
Oh, dude, there's so many good lakes there. Fort Peck, Montana has like the best fishing in the world. If you
There's
go out
probably no pressure.
Yeah, no. It's lake trout. It's got like legitimate 50-inch pike, 30-inch walleyes everywhere, a lot of 6-pound smallies. No pressure. It's in the middle of nowhere, and you can only fish about half the lake because there's only one resort and one place to get gas. So you'll run out running across the lake. It's a massive reservoir.
Really?
Huge. Yeah.
Sweet.
That is crazy.
I have buddies who go out there ice fishing, and you catch tons. There's a ton of 10 to 20 pound lake trout. Ton of them. It's just a Cisco driven lake, so there's a ton of stuff. But yeah, that's probably where you're thinking of in Montana.
Probably. Yeah, I had a guy talking to me about it at the Classic, and he's like, "Dude, you got to come fish Montana." And I'm like, "I'm not really into fly fishing." He goes, "No, there's big smallie lakes there." I had no idea. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll put that on my radar."
Out there to go smallie fishing, like.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Well, we're filming this. Well, this is up on a Friday, and we're filming this the day prior to Thanksgiving. You guys have any plans for tomorrow for the big old Thanksgiving? Anything fun? I know Andy and we're not really allowed to do much in New York because of the whole New York restriction crap. But I don't know how it is in Minnesota.
And my daughter's sick, so I gotta stay low key. Well, she's not sick anymore, but she was. So I'm stuck in quarantine status. So we're living our best life with a 16-month-old running rampant through my house. Well, my wife is working.
We're doing. We're kind of under. We're not under restrictions. It's just like, Dad, hey, you should take it.
What is it? Sound like somebody's vacuuming or something?
Yeah. We're supposed to take it pretty low key, but I think I just have me, my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother. That's it.
Nice.
No grandparents or anything. Just back and seeing them for the day, and then I'm gonna head back home and keep editing.
Yeah, I'm just when we get down here, I'm gonna put the turkey in the brine, and then turkey goes on the green egg tomorrow all day. So
nice. We're gonna mix it up, a little turkey and venison. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Paula, Rich, for any recipes? You were looking for recipes.
Who was?
Rich. I did that Instagram live, or not live. I did that Q&A the other day, and Rich was like, "I need some recipes from Pinky," and I was like, "Yeah, dude." Paula's literally like the best cook I know. He's unbelievable.
He's a big hunter, isn't he?
Yeah. So he's awesome. He'd be a good guy to have on sometime and just chat like wild game and stuff. He's got some wild stories. But yeah, he's a big hunter. I mean, he's a big fisherman too, but he was like, he shot an antelope in South Dakota on public land this year. He's got a pretty dope story about it. And yeah, just a bunch of stuff. But like his favorite thing to do is cook wild game and do it different ways. So like he'll come over to my house every once in a while, just bring over some of the meat he's got in his freezer and cook. And it's awesome. I don't complain about it at all. I just give him beer.
Free food.
Yeah.
Cooking for you too. You're your own personal chef.
Yeah, that's great.
You bring the game, I bring the beer. I'm all in for that.
Yeah,
I will always supply the beer for good food.
Yeah. Rich, you got any big tournament plans for next season after making it to the Natty, or kind of keeping it about the same as this past year?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, I didn't make the big show, so starting over. And I'm right now. I like to make the divisionals next year. I finished 11th, so I'm the alternate. So fingers crossed somebody drops out and I get to go to regionals again and kind of start that path over again. But we'll see. But yeah, otherwise I'll probably fish the Bass Nation. I'll probably fish the TBF stuff. I might if the schedule works out, I might try to fish the TBF or the Bass Nation Team Trail. Maybe the BFLs. I don't know. I'd like to fish a full circuit of something outside of the Federation Bass Nation stuff, but I don't really plan that far ahead. Like I'll start looking in like February, March, April. Like, I know people like to get their like entry fees all paid in like January, but that's just like I'd rather sit on my own money than sit on my money all year.
It's like a Minnesota thing too. Like a lot of guys wait until April. I send mine in like January just so I commit, because otherwise I'll just sit around and spend the money on other stuff.
Think something about something else. Yeah.
It's a little different for me because my kids are really active in sports, so I kind of like to see like where their big tournaments come out and where their stuff comes up on my calendar.
Right.
In a few years, when they're a little bit older, I'll probably start to get mad at them again and get a little more serious because I'll have a little less obligations. So when Andrew will be swamped down with full obligations by then.
I'm thinking about 5 years is when that's going to start. So I got to make hay now.
I don't have to worry about any of that for a long time.
Yeah, same with me.
That's what you say now. Give it 3 years.
Bart's going to accidentally marry into a set of kids and just instantly be like obligated.
Just done.
That's man. That's funny. And Adam, you got the Alabama Bass Trail, and I don't know if you said if you're doing the opens, right?
So I got the Alabama Bass Trail. I got the first derby for that January 9th. And I'm fishing that with my buddy James Chapman now. Aaron wasn't able to do it anymore. He got a new firefighter job and just other obligations. So I'm doing it with my buddy James, which is going to be awesome. I'll be filming the whole thing. James is a hammer. And I don't know if Rich knows James very much, but he is a character. So that film is going to be wild. It'll be a lot of fun.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. So it should be a really good time. We get to go down to Lay Lake starting January. And then, the hope is, I haven't really talked about it much, but as long as I can get in, I'm hoping to fish a division of the Opens. I'm just waiting on the schedule just like everybody else. So,
I've heard end of December for the Open schedule.
Dude, I've heard about 90 different things. I've heard it's not going to happen until after the new year. I've heard that it won't happen until after the last Open. And I've heard that it's coming out sometime this week. So
who knows?
I could see them not starting the Opens as early as they normally do and just pushing it out, just giving themselves, because there's only 8 tournaments, right? 4 in each division. So a lot of times, like those Easterns will start in January, but with all this COVID and stuff, I can see that slide out where they may not start until March or April and then go through the summer and fall, but who knows?
Yeah, I know. I saw Ronnie tweet too, and I don't know what it's about, but he said there's going to be changes to the Opens next year on Twitter. I don't know what those changes are. He didn't specify. I haven't asked him about it or anything. waiting to see what it is. But
I bet they get rid of if you fish both
or centrals, or if they're at it. What would be honestly awesome is if they went back to having 4 divisions, I think, or 3 divisions.
Be what, Western, Central, South, and North, right? I think was what it was.
Well, it used to be South, Central, East, North. Basically, there was a ton of tournaments down south, and there was one Northern division. I just wish they'd add a Northern division just to like spread it out a little bit more.
But even when it was a Northern division, they'd have like a tournament on Douglas, so that's not very north.
Yeah.
It'd be like Douglas, Oneida, and James River, like every year it seemed like, or Potomac, Champlain, and somewhere weird in Tennessee or northern Alabama.
I would expect that an overall reduction in the number of spots to the elites. Like this year, they gave up 12. I bet you it'll be closer to 9 next year, 8 or 9.
Yeah,
I could see them getting away with
people.
I wonder if they'll get away with like the double if you fish both out of the top 4 in that, and I wonder if they go down to like 3 per division. Because they're going to be pretty full after this year.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what they do because demand for the opens is going to be at an all-time high. Mm-hmm. And with people coming back and stuff, plus the sport's growing, so more people want to fish. So like, that's why I hope they go back to 3 or 4 divisions, just because I think they'd fill them up. I think there's enough people who want to do them.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily have to increase the field. That's what I think.
It could be, and it may not be anything to do with field or qualification. They could be announcing like more live, or they could be announcing like increase in payouts. Like, who knows? Maybe with this whole Fox money, maybe there's going to be a trickle down effect of payouts and coverage and things too. So who knows?
Yeah, which would be sick. But yeah, so I just know there's going to be some sort of change. I'm just waiting to see what it is, and I don't really care what the schedule is. I'll go fish some because I need to learn and I want to do it, and I want to throw my hat in the ring. And I mean, for me, doing media work, it's just another way to go meet a bunch of people and make connections. So it's just kind of a no-brainer for me to go do it.
Business expense.
Yeah, exactly. Business.
Are you talking boater or co?
I'm going to do boater. I couldn't fish as a co, so I'll go get my teeth kicked in as a boater and learn the hard way.
I have been thinking about doing it as a co, but we'll see. Obviously, wait on the schedule too, and hopefully a full-time job comes around here soon. And then
if you want to do it as a co, I'm taking link applications. So you want to be my link? Let's do it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But Andy, you're doing the Fed this year.
Yeah, I'm going to do the Bass Nation Fed thing.
Heck
the
yeah.
tournaments, the 3 tournaments are going to be fun. So, especially because one is on my home pond in Buffalo.
Oh yeah,
at a really weird time. It's like that late summer, fall transition time where they just tend to disappear on everyone, and I kind of know where they go. So I'm like, I have a little bit of an advantage there. The other 2, though, I've never been to Champlain, and I fished 1,000 Islands twice, so I just had to survive there. Especially because Champlain is 6.5, 7 hours from my house.
It's just a deeper Niagara River. You'll be fine.
Not worried.
How does your guys' federation work compared to ours? Because I know Rich fishes our federation. I don't fish the federation. But
I think all the base rules are the same. I think it's like top 5 or 6 qualified, and then they have like 3 or 4 alternates for who can.
You guys have a couple events because we only have our one state tournament, right, Rich?
Yep.
Yeah. So ours is
have. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Wisconsin, I know, does a single event with like a Mr. Bass. So like 9 people qualify in the single event, and then they have a Mr. Bass event. That's how they get to their 10. Other states do, like a series of tournaments. Like Iowa has a 3-series tournament, or 3-tournament series. Sounds like you guys have a 3-tournament series. I'm sure like typically when there's a like what they do is they'll take like the winner from each one, and then the next 7 in points, or the top 2 from each one, and then take 6 from points or something like that. Or
yeah, I'm not too sure. I think they just do top 6 in points.
Yeah, well, you got to get
remember correctly.
For us, for the regional,
you have to get to 10. So,
yeah.
However, those 3 tournaments produce 10 people, whether it's points or wins or combination.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, our regional here in New York, they only take 9. So 9 boaters, 9 co-anglers. We shaking your head.
Definitely need 10 to go to a team at a regional. Promise you. That every state sends 10 to the regionals.
I believe Rick.
I always thought 9 on the results from this past year. That's why I was saying 9.
Maybe somebody didn't show because of COVID or something.
People kept saying like top 9 at the tournaments this year. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
And some states that the nation qualifier gets an automatic berth into the regional next year. So maybe they hold a spot for their national qualifier. So
maybe that could be a thing.
10 people go to the regional.
Okay. Yeah. We did. Do you guys do? If you only do one championship, but with the 3 tournaments they do for like the AOIs, they do points and then weight. So like first and third and fifth will be weight, and like second, fourth, sixth are points. They kind of like do it flip flop. It's weird how they kind of scale that. Yeah, like the guy who won AOI for the boater, Casey Smith, one of my buddies, he had weight, and then second place, it gives him his like the weighted points from how you place from each tournament. It was kind of weird how they did it.
I don't even know if I'm following what you're saying.
Yeah, let me see. Let's keep chatting here, and then I'm gonna pull.
So you're saying like half the people qualify in points and half of them qualify in weight?
It was kind of I don't even know how to explain it.
I think it's the way they like write out the standings, because I looked at it before, and like you'll have like first place and then the second place guy, they just post the weight, then they'll do the third place how many points they qualified, and then the fourth place they do total weight. So I don't know if it's like a total weight on how they accumulate standings. I honestly would have to read into that more. I just figured if I do like top 15 every tournament, I would have a good shot at qualifying. So that's the way I'm calculating it.
Yeah. And I know for the Northeast, your guys' regional got canceled because it was supposed to be hosted in New York. So
it's at Presque Isle, which is Erie, PA, which is like an hour and a half from me.
But either way, there was a bunch of quarantine rules in place. So nobody could afford to take off the time to quarantine. So basically, each state had their own shootout for their person. They have a 10-boat shootout to send somebody to nationals this year. So that was kind of an anomaly. But normally there'd be a Northeast regional that would be like on Champlain or Winnipesaukee or, those.
Yeah, it's usually like some weird off-the-wall lake. Like it was supposed to be Presque Isle this year, and last year it was Sebago in Maine. And it was a grind.
Tough.
From what I heard. Yeah.
You see what I mean, though? Like first is points, and then second's weight. See how it kind of like flip flops like that?
So it must be like points is first, and then weight is like the guys who didn't qualify but are like the highest weight or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know.
I couldn't even figure it out. But yeah, that's weird.
No, from what it looks like is they're probably all point aligned, right? And the weight kind of shifts to where the points are, but they want to show how much weight they had. I don't know why they just don't put it in for like how many points you have and how much weight you have. That would make more sense to me instead of making it all confusing like that.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's something that's kind of intrigued me, but I mean, made the regional, so I didn't really question it at all. It's kind of that's kind of interesting. But
where's the regional now?
I should figure that out. They haven't announced it yet. I have no idea.
No, they haven't announced any of the Bass Nation regionals, so that falls under the same hold on schedules for everything, right? So
super fun.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be such a challenge to make a schedule right now, because I feel like there's so much that can happen, especially with how this year's been going. What can happen next year, and how it's just, I don't know how you make a solid schedule at this point.
I can basically guarantee if they were thinking about going to Minnesota, there's no way they're going to be able to go here, because it was a chore for us to even get tournaments to happen this summer with 20 to 30 boats. So
that's where the regional was this year. So
yeah, which I don't know how that ended up happening, because Rich, you remember how big of a pain it was in June to start getting things rolling.
Yeah. The only thing I think is we were on the res up there, so maybe.
Yeah, it might have been because it was on the res. Because it was on Vermilion, which is a reservation.
Sovereign nation.
Yeah.
They have their own rules.
That's what some people do on Oneida, because Oneida's got the one launch that's on the reservation, so it doesn't matter. That's a good point.
I'll say the casino up there was pretty stringent on things. So
Yeah, when we were there for Champions Tour, they were very strict.
Interesting.
Well, I think they still have to follow like state law, but they can do things like differently. Like they don't have to follow it to a T, but I still think they have to follow like federal and state law.
yeah, there is some jurisdiction for sure, but
I couldn't tell you what it is.
like you still can't murder people.
This is my best guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't traffic drugs, you know. Basic
Unless
stuff.
you're on the Red Lake Reservation, then you can.
That's funny. Well, I know you both don't ice fish. So you guys got any plans for winter at all coming up? Or are you just kind of wait until open water again?
Rich, do you want to go first or do you want me to?
I was say Adam's plan is to go down south and fish the Alabama Bass Trail.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so well, I got two things going on. So actually here in whenever the ice freezes, I do have a really big project I'm filming in December. I can't really go too into it because I can't give away exactly what I'm doing because ice fishing is so competitive in the sense of media, but it normally goes pretty well. So I'm launching my own YouTube channel. So Bailey, that is happening. And people have bugged me enough about it now to this point that I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I am launching an ice fishing series that'll start hopefully sometime next week. It depends once it freezes. But yeah, so I'll have that going on. Basically December, I'm going to be full blown ice fishing till about New Year's. And then when I hit Alabama, I don't know what happens after that. A lot of things up in the air right now. But yeah, so that's like short term December, like the wheel's going to be turning hardcore there, ice fishing for me again. I'll be back to ice fishing hardcore again. I do enjoy it. It's just I haven't done it the last few years because I got so burnt out filming it for those 2 years. Now I'm kind of itching and ready to get back into it. And obviously with it being another revenue stream, it's, smart to do it. And I do like doing it with the right people when it's fun. So I'm really excited to get that going. It'll be a really cool project. I think a lot of people will like it.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, when you start that up, let us know and we'll blast it out on our platforms.
Yeah. Just pay attention to my Instagram. And if anybody listening wants to subscribe to my YouTube channel, there's literally nothing there right now, but I promise very shortly there will be. And it's going to be wicked cool. It's going to be really good.
Nice.
Okay.
So Adam, should probably check out YouTube Shorts to get started. We can talk online. Pro tip. But my winter, I probably will not go ice fishing unless somebody like Adam or Sobe calls me and like literally says like come harvest, because I might be into some harvesting, but I'm not any interest in like ice fishing, if that makes sense. I'm not investing any gear. I'm not gonna like find fish. I'm not getting I've got boots and a suit, so that's about all I got. But I'll go take the boat out probably one more time this weekend on the river. I might go wading a couple times, but otherwise maybe if an opportunity comes up, maybe I'll go down south for a spontaneous trip to Falcon or something like that. Depends on what my work says about carryover on vacation for next year, and if I whether I have to burn some at the end of the year, maybe I'll go visit my old man and go fish some December or January largemouth on Falcon. But
heck yeah.
Otherwise that, pray for an early spring or ice out. Get out on the river.
Now the river, you can catch smallies all year on the river, right?
Yeah, we can fish all year.
No. Well, it depends on what part.
Yeah, once you hit the border.
Yeah.
It's got to be the part of the Mississippi River that borders Wisconsin and Minnesota.
So from Red Wing south, you can fish it year round. North of that, there's still a season that ends in the end of February.
Pool 3 still have a season?
What's that?
Pool 3 still has a season?
Yeah, but Pool 2 doesn't. That's all year catch and release.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting. Well, let's get me. How far from you guys is the river? Because you said the river in Wisconsin, you're allowed to fish all year round. So how far of a hike is that for you guys?
So for me, Red Wing is only 45 minutes. So you got that from 45 minutes of Red Wing down to La Crosse, which is about 2.5 hours. So that whole stretch is that still ices up pretty hard. So that's gonna probably ice up in a couple weeks, maybe.
Be unfishable until April. If it's a really early spring, March, but otherwise April. And then it might get really warm, but then if we have a bunch of snow, then it'll flood out. And so,
it creates a big mess.
It's like April 15th, April 18th, something like that.
Normally, if you get a really warm spring, I went to school down in Winona, which is in that section. And if you get a really warm spring where the backwaters will de-ice before the flood hits, basically, you have a week of the best largemouth fishing ever because they all just hit the wood. So you just go beat the brakes off of them. But that only happens if it melts really fast, but then you get the worst flooding ever because you get a giant surge from northern Minnesota of water and it just washes it out.
Interesting. It's pretty cool, though.
Other than that, we'll be out and
flipping a jig on wood all day.
Yeah. Other than that, we'll be ice fishing, and I'm still looking here in about a week as well. I'll be looking I'm trying to find an Elite Series Pro for next year for the 2021 season to follow. So that's very high on my to-do list to figure out someone to do the whole season instead of onesie twosies. I'd like to partner with someone for a full year and go after it. So we'll see what happens.
Idea. You follow around Ronnie Moore and do behind the scenes series.
Yeah, call Ronnie. Well, they only go to the studio.
All right. Yeah. That'd be that much fun.
You don't have to do a Mercer.
Mountain Dew and going back to his house and playing COD every night. Making sure Sarah's happy.
Yeah, a Mercer one would be kind of cool though.
Adam, you need to do is find your own sponsor. And then bring yourself with a sponsor, and then you'd have your choice of Elite Series pros to follow.
Yeah, just get someone to pay me to be like, hey, I'm just going to go film random Elite Series pros from another.
Be like, here, we'll put the package together, and then we'll go pitch. Here's our list of Elite Series anglers to follow around because we're going to have XYZ foot the bill ahead of time.
Yeah, that would work. Go to Daiwa, be like, hey, give me this much money, and I'll only film Daiwa guys.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. I could look into that. I'm up for whatever gets me following the Elite Series for 10 or 9 weeks or whatever it is next year.
Yeah. I'm hoping they come to New York for 3 tournaments. It'll never happen, but New York is
guys
awesome.
get tournaments every year. I wish they would come back within 8 hours of us so that we can go.
I think you can pretty much pencil in Cayuga and St. Lawrence for next year.
Yeah,
it's automatically going to be St. Lawrence just because they signed a 7-year contract.
I think
or something ridiculous.
2022.
I thought they renewed it and extended it. I'll have to double check.
Starting to get sick of it.
Yeah, I thought it was 5 or 7 year contract extension. Was little Waddington that's got a population of 12 people.
Their tourism, they got to have so many people going there now, though, because of it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, people are one of my friends who actually drew in as a co-ang. I drew him in the Fed. Dean Max was saying how the pressure there this year is obviously because of COVID too, but was just ridiculous, he's never seen before.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy.
Well, with Canada being closed too, we couldn't even go into Canada to fish. And my end of Erie is, I won't talk about Canada much, but it hurt me this summer because all I do is fish Canada, and I struggled because I never fish them deep on my side. I always go to Canada, so I had one of my worst summers ever on Erie until me and Destin dropped almost 30.
That doesn't sound too bad.
No. But it's that time of year where we pretty much knew where they would be because they transitioned. Then come that time of year, I've worked back to the U.S. side, and we ran 35 waypoints or something ridiculous. And then we just stumbled on a mega school and just whopped on them. Kind of dumb. We had one fish at 8:30. And then we put 27 pounds in the boat and 7 casts. Well, 7 drops.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, it was fun. Bailey, I think either Bailey or Mike texted me like, "Are you on him?" And I was just like, "Yeah." That's all I could say at that point.
Yeah, I think Mike turned around and he's just like, he goes, "They're on him," and I'm like, "Who?" And then because I didn't know who he was talking about, and he was like, Andy and Destin, like, and we see you guys like an hour later, and Destin goes, "It's whoever wins, they're gonna damn earn it because we've already got this thing in the bag," and it was like 10 o'clock.
At 10 in the morning, I think we had 28 and a half. I just went searching for 2 more big bites.
Yeah.
And then at quarter after 3, right before we ran in, he caught a 6'9", almost 7-pounder. It was fun. And we didn't have a net, so every one of those fish we had to belly, and it was like 40 degrees out. It was fun.
Real chilly. But I know, Adam, is there anything else you wanted? And you told me you had some announcements that you wanted to put out.
Yeah, well, it's the ice series, to be honest. Like, yeah, that's kind of a big thing. The opens will happen too, as long as I get in. I just know how tough it's going to be next year, so I'm hoping be able to work that out and get in. But yeah, the ice series is a big deal. That'll, like I said, that'll be coming in a week and a half, as long as we get ice. And as long as you're looking for entertainment, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be good.
I'm pumped up for that, dude.
Yeah, last time I went ice fishing, I went through. So I don't really ice fish anymore. I went right before Christmas. We had like the first 3 inches of ice, and I knew where the spring was, and I stepped right on top of a spring, like 5 foot of water, right up to my chest. Came right back out like a rocket.
Whatever.
Good God.
But I haven't been since.
I don't blame you. That's the only thing I'm scared about. I don't. No thanks.
Once you fall a couple times, it's whatever.
It's whatever.
It's whatever. So now I just trout fish all winter because we have one of the best steelhead fisheries probably in the world off the Great Lakes here in West New York. So I'll usually do that, but I'm going to take a hiatus from it this winter, I think, and get ready for next summer.
Bank up those brownie points.
Exactly. There's a lot of free fishing time coming in.
They don't stack up as hard as you think they do. Just tell you that.
Yeah. Well, plus I'll have my guide license here, my marine merchant license here in the next couple of weeks. So I do plan on guiding next summer. So that'll be fun. That'll occupy a lot of time.
Nice.
Heck yeah, dude. 100%.
So hopefully it goes well.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna wrap this thing up here, and I guess like my last thing, I would think it'd be kind of cool to do if you guys are interested. Is obviously it's Friday. Thanksgiving was yesterday, but if we want to go around and do a little top 3 things you guys are all thankful for. If Andrew, you want to start?
Sure. So I am thankful for my family, first of all. Without my wife, I wouldn't have the boat that I have. I wouldn't be able to fish as much as I do. Second, thankful for some flatworms, still smashing smallies on them. And then third, I am just thankful to be alive.
Nice.
So,
getting heavy, right? Just dropping it.
All right. I guess if we're looking in the direction here, I can go next.
We're going clockwise.
So, yeah. All right. So thankful. First of all, I guess I'll say my health, just kind of with everything going on right now. I would just say, joke all the time, super out of shape now and all that. But obviously there's people in much worse circumstances. So I'm very thankful for my health and my family's health, and just moving forward that way. Also, pretty obviously, from when I've been on this program till now, I'm very happy for all the support I've gotten with all my new ventures. I could have fallen flat on my face so quickly, going out and doing this own thing and everything going on. It's just crazy. So I appreciate all the support. Like, it's been honestly unbelievable. I get so many great messages, and just please keep them coming because it honestly helps a lot. especially on the long days, the long weeks, the long edits.
Sanity.
And third, just super thankful for all my friends, which kind of goes along with that support. But it's really hard to keep in contact with a lot of people now with how busy it is. And it's really nice to have friends who kind of understand that and check in on you every once in a while, and you're able to go get a few beers with and just catch up quick and know that everything's good. So that's kind of what I'm thankful for now.
Heck yeah. Rich?
Yeah, I guess I'm thankful for my family and my family's health. Well, first of all, overall, a few bumps in the road, but in the grand scheme of things these days, nothing too major.
Right.
Secondly, I would say I'm thankful for all the support and texts and DMs and stuff. When I was at the Bass Nation Championship, it was really, you've got a fair amount of friends, but the amount of people that just in the community that reached out to me on social media and text that I hadn't talked to, or maybe that I fished with at a regional 2 years ago, and just people I don't even necessarily keep in touch with, but they're watching and following. That was really awesome. And I know I thank people on social media, but if any of you guys are watching or gals, that's awesome to get that, just get bombarded after you have a good day on a big stage like that. And then I would say lastly, just the growing community for my, I guess, YouTube channel and social media platform. It's really gotten a lot of traction. I'm not huge or enormous, but this year's been really solid for me. And there's just a lot more people that are super engaged and leave a lot of comments, and just they're engaged and following along on the journey. They want to see me do well. They want to know what's happening next, and it's really awesome. And that makes it, much really rewarding. And I'm sure you see that with, Adam talked about his ventures and your guys' podcast, even though you're not none of us are getting rich at this point, but to know that there is a community that is devoted and is engaged means a lot, even if it's only tens or a few hundreds of people. It's really cool.
Yeah. Knowing you have a foundation is awesome. Being able to get that is just, like Rich said, just getting bombarded with texts or something after a cool edit is awesome. It's very humbling.
Because I know, you guys know this, right? Whether it's an edit, a video edit, recording something, or trying to get that podcast up when you're tired and you don't feel like it, but there's 10 people or there's 100 people that are actually really looking forward to this, and right? That helps you get through those times when you just don't feel like it.
Yeah. When you get that message, or whether it be a message or a comment or something like that, and then it's just kind of a little bit of reinforcement, and I think 100%. Benjamin Nowak, smallmouth experience, I think that's what he talked about too, is there's so many people out there that kind of focus on how many thumbs down a video got or the one negative comment, but then you got 30 positive comments, and you got to take that and look at that and see what kind of, just taking the time to publish something like that. See, it does a lot of good for some people, especially people locked in with COVID this past year, and especially Rich, the content you put out, dude. It gives people something to do, and they're not sitting at home going crazy, being negative. They're oh, I get to watch some fishing today.
I feel when I get a negative comment, it means I'm doing something right. It's people if they're that engaged to get mad or
nitpick you,
have a strong opinion on something, then hey, I'm winning.
Yeah, it's thanks for the
that means they watch it. Yeah,
I was gonna say, if you don't have haters, you're not big enough. If you when you get some haters, that means you're actually making something happen.
Heck yeah,
100%. Well, I guess I would say, oh, there you go, Rich. You got to take a shot. I just said 100% again. Rich brought to my attention.
I've been doing it the whole time. My beer's gone. So,
Rich brought to my attention the other day that I say 100% all the time on the podcast. Now, every time I say it, it's just gonna pop in my
game.
Crap. I said it again.
I need a dinger. So every time he says 100%, I just ding.
A count, a number count in the bottom corner.
Put it in the scroll bar in the bottom. Every time you hear a ding, take a shot if you're listening.
You need to find a duck call sponsor, and every time he does it, you just let the duck call out.
That's what. So you need to get an alcohol sponsor in your portfolio. And,
yeah.
That's a trend. That's a trendy.
Drunk.
That's a trendy thing. You can be just like Ike Live. They've got 2 alcohol sponsors. So
Yeah, Stray Cass has the was it the Tin Cup whiskey drinking game or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich, you've been getting some shout outs on BTL, dude, so props to that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Matt and I kind of
Big
DM. I
time.
think I'm gonna have Matt on the stream here in the next couple of weeks. So working on some good guests this winter. So there should be a lot of, this is a holiday week, but I'm gonna pretty much try to stick to like this winter, like one fishing or tip video per week, and then one stream per week. So
Sweet. Yeah, when I had him on, dude, he's like talking to a fishing, like a fishing dictionary, thesaurus, whatever the heck you want to call it. I mean, he's got so much knowledge of fishing history; it's ridiculous. Learn a lot from him. But yeah, I guess I'll go my top 3 real quick here. It's kind of agree with all you guys is the health of family, friends, and their support as well. I'm thankful for these big, fat, brown and green things that we get to chase, and is the primary reason why we're all kind of sitting here talking today. And I guess last but not least, I'm thankful for this platform that I wouldn't have met Adam, I wouldn't have met Rich, and frankly, this is how Andrew and I have been becoming so close. So I'm appreciative of that. Met a lot of great people.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I would not have the friends that I do now, so I appreciate it greatly.
And Rich can call me out every time I comment underneath the Serious Angler because you can tell it's me.
Highlight of my day.
A lot of times I'll catch it, I'll delete it and go in and respond. I'm like, shit.
It's funny.
So Andy, did you only get the one hat or did you get both versions?
For this?
Yeah.
I got the one that Bailey sent me. He's the one who got him for Matt.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I believe it's just this version.
Yeah, I said
an awesome one too.
An awesome.
Yeah, he's got an awesome one too.
Definitely need that one because I've been off him a lot. Especially his last few derbs.
Like you go out in the morning with that one on, and then when you come in, you either like still have it on or the other one's on now. Like
it's fantastic.
You put that 6 in the box, and you just take your hat off, throw that on-'em hat on. You're like, "Let's go, boys!"
No, at that point, I think I'd keep the off 'em on it because it's got good juju.
Put it on. You just put it in, and when you pull into the dock, then you just.
That's right. Sandbagger.
Yeah.
What I can't figure out is the text is really high. I don't see how I can make that into a visor.
Yeah.
That'd be a tough one.
You'd almost have to like trim right at it, but it'd be a high rise. You'd almost need some flow.
It would look good when I had the Rona flow, when I hadn't cut my hair for like 6 months. It would have been.
So I mean, I'm getting there. I could definitely like poof it up and have some nice.
You'd have like a Clifford Perch hat going on. That's what you.
Yeah, that would be a Clifford Perch visor.
The Golden Ram.
Yeah.
Those little locks flowing.
It's amazing.
Well, you fellows got anything left before we sign off here tonight?
No, sir.
Take that as a no. Well, I know that tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Everyone will be watching, listening.
Hope you all drink.
Yeah, hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. I hope everybody stays safe. And as always, thank you guys again.
Eat yourselves into a coma.
Be responsible. And as always, thank you guys for watching and listening. See you guys next time.